Hi there. So here's another video about something that we tend to have a problem with. And it's about feeling guilt, shame, pain, fear about the past and the future. So let me paint the picture as a highly sensitive. We go through very embarrassing moments in our lives. We go through possibly some relationship issues, and we don't have the luxury to forget. We keep it. We keep it very, very on the surface of our mind, very easily accessible when anything remotely similar comes up. Even the thought of, let's say, dating when your last dating experiences were not so fun, not, producing the success that you were expecting. So unfortunately, we tend to keep a hold on the past with dear life. For some odd reason, it seems that it's better to feel we know what could happen, and we're not going to tempt faith into being in that position again. I get that. Sometimes I don't really want to explore being in the same position again, but I keep trying to push my comfort zone a little further out. And yes, I date. And yes, I mess up anyways. And the more I do, the more I decide who I'm going to become as a woman, as a highly sensitive, as a mature person, which, yeah, doesn't make me any better in the sense that I just have a heck of a lot more experience than a lot of the young people that may be watching this. What I'm trying to say is the fear, the pain, the shame, the guilt is not serving us. These are not thoughts that are actually empowering. Okay? So, my suggestion to you, if at all possible, find a way to either write about your fears, write about the pain that you may not easily want to look at, but trust me, it does serve its purpose. The shame. I was in a situation where I was ashamed of my whole body because I wasn't like everybody else in school. Well, yeah, my mom was 5 feet tall, my dad was 6'3". I ended up being born very, very tall very quickly. So I was, what, 7, 8 years old. I was as tall as my mom and my sisters, who were already in their teens. And at school, I was considered like the giant, pretty much. And I didn't make friends very easily because, gee, like they were half my size, they in my class. So it was very, very shaming. In the end, I turned out to be average size. I'm just 5'4", like everybody else. But as I was growing up, it was really difficult to be proud of my body, even though like I was a little chubby and everything, but I mean, it wasn't that bad. I was just tall. So, anyways, what I'm trying to say is I hung on to that belief for a long, long time, up until last summer, that I wasn't good enough. My body wasn't something that I should be proud of. And eventually, I was tapping, yes, I do tapping on shame, and I wrote down all kinds of connections that I made finally. It's not my fault, for one thing, if I was that tall and that people didn't trust me because I was so big. And it wasn't my fault. It was just the way things were, you see. I was good enough. I was nice enough to have friends, but I just had that childhood experience, and my eyes were, only understanding the confusion of why don't people like me. So, what I'm trying to say is write down whatever you feel is making you ashamed or in pain or in guilt or in fear. Okay, you're possibly thinking a lot about the past. Why do we need to be in the past? We're missing out on the present. You may be feeling always in fear, anxiety of the future. You're missing out on the present moment. You don't have control over either one, so why would you let your mind go there, right? Write it down. When we acknowledge what is going on in our heart, because it's really our heart that just make the how do you say, the warning signs happen, right? It's just easier to say it that way, but it's our hearts that try to keep us safe. But our heart is also wanting to live in the moment, doesn't it? So, if at all possible, if you can write things down, if you can maybe express yourself through art, through music, and just kind of categorize the events, specific people that you have stuff, that just doesn't feel harmonious with.